So, folks, yeah, sorry we had a little technical difficulty, but we're back. So we're just about to dig into these finals, Ravi, man. What's your thoughts on this now we got both teams healthy, man?
Hey man, I'm glad we have a full complement on both sides of both teams. I think it's gonna be Golden State in 6. On their side, I think they've been through a lot of adversity this playoff run, from Steph's injury to being down 3-1, and these guys have shown they can overcome that. What's that? Kickgate, yes. I mean, I think with regards to Cleveland, I don't think they can play Kevin Love in the fourth quarter, because they're going to run that pick and roll with Draymond and Steph. And when Kevin Love gets switched off, it's going to be barbecue chicken, like it was with Stacey Adams, like it was with Kevin Durant to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, well, I thought Oklahoma City actually played that pick and roll pretty well. I think if you look at that series, they rarely played the Draymond Curry pick and roll, because I think Durant was causing so much havoc on Draymond Green that they just say, you know what, we'll scrap it. You saw more 1 versus 2 picks with he and Klay Thompson, more so in this case, to try to get away from a Durant situation. Oklahoma City would just switch it. But with Cleveland, it just really comes down to Love. Can Love stay on the floor enough in this series? I think they're going to put Love initially out on Bogut to start the game.
Yeah.
I don't think Love will be playing Draymond Green. I think he'll be playing Bogut. I think they'll give their shot with Thompson playing Draymond Green and start there. I think when you get the bench now, this is where things get interesting, because when Golden State now drops Bogut out, and if they don't play Azili, they go with that small ball lineup with Draymond playing center. This is where it's going to get hard to hide Love. Because now you're playing Barnes at the 4, and there's no place for Love there to hide. So I'm thinking more and more you're going to see a lot of that LeBron plus either LeBron, Kyrie, and the 3 bench guys, or LeBron and the 4 bench guys. And this is where the acquisition of Fry comes in handy big time. Because I think Fry will give enough defensively that he can play out there against Draymond enough. But he has to be someone you have to respect on the 3-point line. You can make an argument that he's a better 3-point shooter than Love in this case. I'm not sure what the statistics say, but he's a pretty dead-eye shooter. So I think the acquisition of Fry is a nice insurance policy for when you get in the situation like, because pre the Fry deal, I don't know. I think you're in all sorts of trouble, because Varejão's not doing it for you, right? Like, you're in a whole heap of trouble pre Fry. So I think that could equalize things. But I think, to your point, we might see a lot less Love on the court late in the games, because he got away a little bit with it against Toronto, but even Toronto made him pay at times. And let's face it, we know the Raptors are not the best shooting team in the world, and they can get those type of looks in this case here. What do you think what do you think Golden State's going to do? The other thing I'll watch to be very careful of too, I think, is how J.R. Smith plays in this series. Not just offensively, because they're looking to go 3-ball versus 3-ball in Cleveland. But I think J.R. Smith on the defensive end, he got lit up by DeRozan. And DeRozan obviously is no near the shooter. Obviously, I would say maybe arguably a better slasher than Thompson. Both of them have pretty decent post-up games in this case here, different ways, but same thing. Both of them about 6'7", and I'm just thinking to myself, like, how he got barbecued by DeRozan. I mean, Thompson's gonna be licking his chops with this dude. So, especially off those curls and picks, and the difference between this guy and the last guy he played, curls and picks for 15-footers. These are curls and picks for 3-pointers when they happen. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting to see how JR can handle that, because there's another decision going to be happening. How can JR stay on the floor enough to give you offense to supplement what he might lose on defense, or you get to pull up the Shumpert card? There's another issue. So, and then the last part is this case here, at least in my mind, I see, is Kyrie. When Kyrie's out there, can Kyrie handle getting lit up by Curry? He can get his, Kyrie. No two ways about it. Now, true, last year was only one game. He probably played one of the best games I think I've ever seen him play, offensively and defensively. Was that just aberration, or is that something that, he's always played well against Golden State? So,
well, I mean, on the defensive end is where I have concerns about Kyrie.
Right. Well, actually, it's the offensive end in some ways. Yeah, because
I don't have any issue. I mean, we saw the one game last year, obviously, but I think in terms of his ball handling and his offensive skills, I'm not too concerned about him on the offensive end for Cleveland. It's just, I mean, he can be a great defender when he wants to be, but I mean, we don't. That's the part of his game that we don't necessarily see, from game to game.
I will say this. I think him on the defensive end, I think it depends on the type of player he's playing against. I think actually Curry probably plays towards his strength. I think you have a guy that can beat you off the dribble type of guy. Yeah, Curry can do that to some extent too. I'm not saying he can't, but he sits it off the jumper more so. He's looking to shoot a three first. I think he actually is more effective on a guy like that wants to get off his jumper more so because he can close out on them quickly than a guy that wants to get the rock and just attack. Where he doesn't show, he can't move his feet. My concern on the offensive end is that when he's getting lit up on the one side from Curry in this case, they've had so much great ball movement in this playoffs in this case on the offensive end. Well, Irving tried to start. He saw a little bit in the Toronto series in the games they lost, especially Game 4. Well, he tried to take over and want to say 1-on-1 or 1 against 4 and go Kyrie, old school Kyrie, and winning 20 games in the Cavaliers type of Kyrie. I'm going to get mine, but I got no assists. And that's the part that concerns me with him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that's where LeBron has to kind of balance things out because, I mean, I think if we go back, I think it was that Game 4 where he didn't take a shot in the last 4 minutes.
Right. Well,
right? Or the last 5 minutes of the game, he didn't take a shot. So
right,
I think that's where he has to assert himself a bit more and stop looking to be the playmaker at certain points of the game.
See, I would challenge that to some extent because how the flow of the game was going, he was playing that way before that when the guys were knocking down threes and they're running down the same plate 12 times.
Agreed,
right.
but when these guys aren't hitting those shots, he has to. I mean, that's where he has to have his finger on the pulse of the game and switch it up.
I agree, but I think the issue is not so much he has to go and take the ball in this case to score it. He has to tell Kyrie, get in check, because Kyrie came off the bench looking for his offense, and everyone sat there just frozen like, well, what the heck? And it ended up being 1 against 5. Now at this point, I agree. LeBron has to go in there and say, dude, give me the damn ball and just sit over here in the corner and just wait for a shot. Because everything was working fine until you decided to come back in and screw things up. So that's where I agree with leadership has to come in. It's like, relax yourself and give me the ball. So I think I agree, but I just see it in a different way. I don't think it's so much he has to score, but he had to take over that offense in this case. Say the ball's running through me. You're not going to sit here and do ISO ball here against Lowry. Because don't forget, it's Game 4. Lowry's lighting him up for 35. Right? So that's in his head. Like, I'm getting embarrassed out here. So he came back off the bench looking for fury. That's my concern in this case, in this series. That's where, to your point, LeBron's got to watch that very closely with him because there's going to be a lot of times in this series where, Curry's not going to make you look good. And you're going to have your moments where you're not going to make him look good. But once it's within the offense, we're straight. When you're going out there doing your ISO ball thing, that's where I would be as a Cavaliers fan, be very concerned about this. Because I saw a little bit in the Game 4 against Toronto, and he can be getting a heavy, steady dose of that in this series. And it's an interesting dynamic that's going to have to play out with those guys. But on the other end, what do you think in this case, what Golden State has to be concerned about with Cleveland?
I think obviously with Cleveland, LeBron's going to get his. So I think what you have to do is, again, it goes back to anyone that plays Cleveland, that type of team. You have to limit the other guys. You can't let guys, Kyrie's going to get his to a certain extent, but you can't let the guys like you mentioned, you can't let Channing Frye start going off in certain quarters. You can't let guys like J.R. Smith, get hot. Because J.R. Smith is a guy, when he gets going offensively, he peps up defensively. Mm-hmm. That's his game. Mm-hmm. So that'll hurt you on both sides of the ball. So, and Love, like I said, I think Love will be very limited in this series. I'm not saying he's not going to be a factor, but I think he'll be more limited than he was in the playoffs so far.
Well,
but you gotta limit these peripheral guys and not allow them to get off and not allow LeBron to get them going. I would make LeBron run it through him.
So they play like how they did last year, essentially, which was pretty much let him score 45.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that there is. I think Toronto is kind of trying to play that to some extent. The danger is that when LeBron's dicing up your defense, you have no shot blocking in there, especially when Bogut's out. Also, you're in the penalty real quick. Real quick. So, there is some theory with that. I kind of see it. I think the other thing you have to be careful of, too, that I think that they can take advantage of, they didn't have last year at all, and he had to some extent, and they did work well, but he's a much more limited post-up player compared to Love is Mozgov. Now, I'm not expecting Mozgov. What I'm saying is Love has the opportunity to post up anybody on Golden State.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have anybody. They play Barnes on him, Draymond. I don't think they can deal with him in the post. So if they go small, and they're going to probably stay with it with Love out there for the time being to see how it works, they have to really make Golden State pay as Toronto made them pay. You know, I mean, as Toronto, as Oklahoma City, I should say, made them pay staying big. And post Love up immediately the moment that small ball line comes up. Whoever they got on Barnes, and make sure to say, you know what, you put out there, I'll make you pay. I'm going to post up my man in the paint. None of that three-ball business. We're going inside. You know, and I think that's what they have to look at. Him or LeBron. Post, post, post. Once that lineup comes up, I think, and you got to find a way to take the starch out of those two guards. And I think that one of the things I thought Oklahoma City was pretty effective on was, you know, first thing, Klay Thompson's conditions, you know, it's otherworldly. It's quite impressed with him, man. Klay Thompson always can play, but I saw him at different late in these playoffs. Not even just before this. I was watching him against Houston, and then of course against Portland to some extent, like how he's played. Even though he had some tough games against Portland, I felt in this series, man, like he took it to another level. His ability to stay competitive on defense and maintain that type of ferocity on defense, considering how much he has to run around to get the ball on offense, was impressive. I don't know how much longer he can keep up, but it was impressive, though.
Hey, man, I think he did a pretty admirable job on Westbrook, of all people.
Yeah, Westbrook didn't have really one good scoring game from a percentage standpoint at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know, coaching, man, who you like?
I mean, I'm not going to win Steve Kerr in this one, man. I think, you know, he knows his players, he knows the system, and he's had a good 2-year run. You know, and especially, you know, with all the talk about him being out-coached in the last series, being down 3-1, I mean, he made necessary adjustments. You know, he didn't make excuses for being down 3-1. No. You know, so I think advantage goes to Golden State in that department.
Yeah, I have been impressed with Lou, though. I think I've been impressed with Lou a lot this year. I like how he's incorporated Love. I like how he used the small ball lineup. I do appreciate him trying to increase the pace of the team, because I think that team does play better with pace. It'll be an interesting philosophical thing if they continue trying to play pace and try to out 3-ball Golden State. That's going to be interesting, because I'm not sure they can do that. But we'll find out real fast sometime later tonight. So if that philosophy is going to work or not, because I think we'll know real quick if that's going to work. It could get ugly quick. Or if they find out, like, hey, we can do this. Because the two teams haven't really played each other since this Cleveland team's really been in this mold. So
no, I mean, Golden State. I mean, both teams had their full complement of players in the regular season. I think
different
themselves to a certain extent.
Yeah, different personnel, though.
Pardon me?
Different personnel.
I mean, no, it's the same personnel, different coaching.
Well, different coaching, no, Fry wasn't there for the Christmas game. And
True.
I think they play a few weeks later. Fry wasn't there yet either, I think, when they got blown out in Cleveland. I don't think he was there yet, because that was before the trade deadline.
But with all due respect to Fry, Fry is not, Fry's not the be-all, end-all there.
No, but what I'm saying
is, they have to make adjustments for him.
Right, but it gives you a different option, and plus, to your point, the coaching was very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because pretty much he was using two with the big three. He wasn't using all three. You know, Blatt was using that, and obviously that's pretty much when he got fired. When that happened, it was like, yo, we can't take much more of this. So
yeah, it was after that. It was after that.
It was after that one, yeah. Whoops, you lost it. There we go. We're having a little trouble here. Might be a cue we need to come off in this case. All right, man.
Hey,
so
man, I think what I'm looking forward to in this series, legacies are on the line. It's a historic finals, because you had Golden State with such a historic season, and it's not going to mean anything if they don't finish the job.
Right.
So I don't know, you win 73, you can win 82-0. Doesn't mean anything unless you get that ring. And I think in the back of LeBron's mind, even though I said this series, I think this series is going to go 6 games, Golden State in 6, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7 games, because I have to believe that in LeBron's mind, he doesn't want to be 2-5 in the NBA Finals.
I think it goes 7. I think the Warriors will win in 7. That's my mind telling me that. My heart, I love to see Cleveland win. I really think in this case here, I think LeBron is one of those type of athletes and players very similar to someone like Serena Williams, in this sense that I don't think when they're playing at their best, people really appreciate them. I think when he's down in the swan song and people start looking at the book, it's like, holy smokes, what the heck? I think then people start realizing, like, oh, okay. They start realizing.
Wait, hold on. You don't think people are appreciating LeBron right now?
No, not in the same sense that you would think. I think, let's put it this way. I think right now, at this stage right now, I think Curry gets more appreciation at this point in the season than I think that LeBron's ever had.
I don't think so.
Hold on one second. So. Does anyone even say a critical word about Curry from a media standpoint? And even most fans. He's an average defender. You know, he's a little soft injury-wise. Let's call a spade. But not one thing. We just talked about him disappearing in games, but in chunks. But, not a word said about him. His kid gets more criticism than him. Not a word. I don't ever recall LeBron ever getting that type of unabashed, love and adoration from the basketball community.
I disagree with that. I would say up until
Never.
LeBron came into the league, up until his last year in Cleveland, I think he got that type of pass. He got that type of look. I think the criticism came once he switched to Miami. I think that's where you saw the public perception
Possibly.
change.
I mean, yeah, we know that for sure. It was definitely much more intense. But
I mean, from his rookie season up until his last game in Cleveland, I think he got that type of love. I think he got. I mean, regardless of his playoff failures, I think he got that type of love.
Fair enough. I mean, we disagree on that one, but so be it. But I think at this point, for once, I think in this case, LeBron goes into a series for the most part where most of the pressure's not on him. This is the first series I can think of where the finals, except for the Cleveland-San Antonio series, when he first came as a rookie. I mean, the first time in the play. This is the first time I can think. Anytime he was on the Miami teams, the pressure was always on them. Either they're defending, either they're the favorite. The pressure was always on them. And then even last year, to some extent, I mean, being the first year at Cleveland trying to win championship here and stuff like that, I mean, I think some of it got lessened once the injury started falling. And he realized that, he was kind of outmanned in this case here. So maybe last year was a better example. But I still feel coming into it, obviously being the underdog. And that's the point I made you guys last year. How many times in this case here, the NBA Finals is not that hard to figure out in this case here. The favorite almost wins like 90% of the time. There's only been one time in this case LeBron's gone in where he's been the favorite and had lost the series.
Well, hey, you know what? It's after Golden State won last year, all the talk was, Cleveland had their guys were injured. Their guys were injured.
That's true.
So this year, I mean, I think each team has a different type of pressure on them. I think Cleveland has that pressure of, they have their full roster, so let's see what you can do now.
Yep.
And obviously, like I said, Golden State trying to finish off a historic season.
Yep, for sure, man. Oh, man, hopefully it's a great series. Hopefully we get the 7-game series that we're all looking for. Ravi, where can the good folks find you?
You guys can find me at Ravi and Ryan on Instagram. In the streets.
In the streets. And you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short for RM on Twitter, man. Guys, take care. Enjoy the finals. We got hopefully 7 more games to go, man, till we crown a champion. Peace.